Hey guys, Myles here at Hyve, and welcome to another video about competition shooting. This video is going to be about what gun should you use in competition. So if you're interested, stay tuned to this video. This is a common question I get, and I've actually heard this a lot among different conversations that are happening about people who want to get into competition shooting. And it's not really a lengthy topic here. There's a lot of opinion on it, so I'm going to share my opinion. First off, I'd like to say this. If you are limiting yourself or you're stopping yourself from competing because you don't have, let's say, the fanciest gear or anything like that, that's the wrong way to look at things. So if I'm answering that question, which gun should you use for competition, from that context, use the gun that you have, because you're going to learn a tremendous amount of skills just by going into a competition. Even if you shoot this, right, you're going to learn a lot. Even if someone else, let's say you're going against people who have a more sportier gun that will be easier to shoot, you're still going to learn a lot. So don't let that be a limiting factor. To that point, as you guys probably know, my everyday carry is this P365, and I'm actually going to be getting the new P365 Macro X, and I'm going to be shooting that in carry optics. It is not a competition gun, but I'm going to be doing that because that is most likely going to be the new gun that I'm carrying. And so I want to get in a lot of good reps with that in competition. So if you have a gun, you're already ready. That's the gun you use in competition. With that out of the way, when it comes to choosing the right gun for competition, another area of confusion or discussion is, should one shoot an iron sight gun or a red dot? Now, we're going to be creating a separate video on this, a dedicated video, but I'm just going to give you the wave tops right now. First, both divisions are going to learn a lot about shooting, and really there's not going to be a lot of differences when it comes to the movement and a lot of the major techniques and tactics that you're going to learn with overall marksmanship. The only difference there is really your sighting system, iron sights or red dots. The way I like to answer this is, first, a clear-cut answer. If you have problems with your vision and you're older, and for me, if you guys have been following your stories, my vision is getting really bad and I'm still not there yet. I'm still going to be focusing on iron sights, but that might physically force me to want to shoot a red dot. Okay, so that's one easy way to determine which way you should go. Okay, if your vision is just not there and you can really see the red dot, then go do that. Right? Then other considerations might be, what is your carry gun? Do you carry a red dot? If you carry a red dot, then maybe that's another tick for shooting a red dot division. If you carry with iron sights, then if you want to transition to a red dot, then maybe it's a good time to transition to red dot so you can get some practice. But if you don't shoot a red dot, you don't plan to, then perhaps iron sights are better, right? The main thing is, you shouldn't really let that be a hindrance again. So if you have an iron sight gun and a red dot gun, choose the one that you want to be more familiar with. Or what I would recommend is choose the one that you carry if you do carry, right? So if you carry iron, shoot iron. If you carry with a red dot, use a red dot, right? So that's the Cliff Notes version to which gun you should use when it comes to a red dot or iron sights. Again, we will create a dedicated video for that down the road. Now, the third area is, should you get a stock gun that's slightly modified, or should you go balls to the wall and get a race gun? Race guns are usually 2011 platforms that have been completely tricked out. So this could be, let's say, a P365 bone stock is a Toyota. This with a little modifications and a red dot, I don't know, maybe one up, maybe a Lexus, I don't know. And then maybe a race gun is like F1, right? Race car. So you need to figure out what you want to do there. And typically speaking, if you're in this to just improve your marksmanship, doing this for defensive purposes, getting to competition for more practice, you probably don't need a race gun. The people who buy race guns generally take the competition side of things very, very seriously. These are the people who maybe even be in the top 1% of shooters in the world. I mean, that's how obsessed and passionate they are about shooting. And that's a very, very small percentage of shooters, right? So if you're not even thinking about taking competition all the way, then a race gun is really, it's probably not needed at all. You're just going to, maybe if you're into shooting and collecting guns, okay, great. But in terms of use, you're probably not going to really use use it like a professional shooter would. I do have a race gun. I shoot a race gun, and one of the reasons why was that, and it's an iron sight gun because I shoot iron sights, I carry iron sights, but I wanted a race gun because I do want to get really good. I want to be a top contender in major matches. And truth be told, it's harder to do so, and it's very, very hard to do so if everyone has a race gun and this was the gun you were using, right? It's practically impossible. I'm not going to say that it can't be done because, sometimes, there will always be an outlier, right? But for most shooters, it's not going to happen. So should you get one? It depends how serious you are because it's a big investment. And if you get a Glock 34, you might be able to get one gun and last your entire lifetime, your entire competition career. Whereas with a race gun, I need at least two. Why? Because they are finicky bastards, right? And so you're always going to have to tweak them and all this stuff. And sometimes, this is no joke, it's happened to me. Gosh, it happened in nationals a number of times. I'm ready to take that shot. Oh, it messes up, right? And that's just the way it goes, right? Now, of course, once you get to that level, I'm not going to go down the weeds, but once you get to that level, you're going to really make sure your equipment is working and have backup guns. Unfortunately, I didn't, but that's besides the point. It really comes down to a personal choice and what you're using competition for. There is nothing wrong losing to people who are using race guns if truly your intention is just to get better with your personal firearm platform. Now, if you are very, very competitive, and I am very competitive, so that's why one of the reasons, I'm not going to use this gun when I know everyone else is using a Gucci race car gun where there's no way I can win. Oh, hell no. And this is my personality, just like if you guys watch the reloading videos, I invested in this big reload. I didn't even know anything in reloading. And before I shot my first competition, I think I bought 2 race guns. I didn't even, that's just my mentality though. Cause for me, it's like, that's the way I hold myself accountable. I'll invest. And then if I don't use that, I'll hate myself because I wasted all this money. But again, neither here or there. That's just the way I think. So really get out to competition, use the gun that you have if truly that's the limiting factor. If you're there to practice with your carry gun, the answer is already simple. Use your carry gun, right? If you're competitive, then here's the thing. If you want to find the hybrid, okay, and some people do this as well. If you want the hybrid, like you want to use your carry gun, but you have that competitive nature and you don't want to be at the bottom of the barrel because of your equipment, you can use your carry gun. And this was a stock Glock, okay? And what I did was I changed the trigger and some of the rods here. So now it's kind of a hybrid. So it's not your stock Glock. I can still get a little bit more of an advantage over a shooter who has something completely stock. But it also gives me some features that might help me out with those who have more tricked out guns. So I just want to create that quick video for you because it's a common question that a lot of people are sending in, they're commenting about. I don't think you should make a big deal out of that. The most important thing is to get out there. And as you shoot matches, you're going to realize what you want to do. Or some of you might think like, I don't really like the whole competition vibe because maybe, well, for whatever reason. So maybe you'll just stick to your carry gun. And then others, you might start with this and then you're like, wow, I really love this sport and I want to start beating people. And you might up your game when it comes to your equipment. So that wraps up this video. If you like the video, please give us a like. Don't forget to comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.